All right, guys. Good evening. I am Storm Team 4 Chief Meteorologist Brian Niznansky, and we're gearing up for more storms tonight. Let's just start off with the basics here. I would say that our threat tonight isn't anywhere close to the severe threat that we had last night. Now, with that said, I don't want people to think that there's going to be nothing. I think we're going to get a line of storms. In fact, it's already lining up. This one's pretty easy to track. And it's in western Wisconsin, already some severe warnings with it. And I do think damaging straight line winds will be the primary threat with this evening's storms. So thank you all for joining. If you are watching right now and you have a question or a comment, fire away. Don't just say my town, Waukesha ? Be a little more specific so I know exactly what you're talking about or what you want, and hopefully I'll be able to answer and address some of those questions. So, but here we go again with our storms. And let's start you off with the radar. Hold on one second. I'm going to grab my phone. Make sure I got it here. You see the storms that are lining up across southwestern Wisconsin, Iowa. These have had severe warnings with them. These are pretty strong, severe looking storms lining up once again. There's also a little sneaky cell that's down approaching Rockford that also currently has a severe warning, a tornado warning with it as well. So, all right, let's time out what we got here. We'll go over the current scenario, and then I got to get ready for the 6 o'clock news. But I thought I'd drop in here on Facebook and YouTube, by the way, simultaneously streaming on my YouTube page. After this, go over there, search for Brian Niz, N-I-Z. You'll find my new YouTube page, Brian Niz Weather Wiz, and you can always follow me there as well with these streams. So, all right, current picture, severe storms in southwestern Wisconsin over towards Iowa. That one around Cedar Rapids looks really strong. And then you have a sneaky little severe cell that's working its way up through northern Illinois. All right, so closer look. Watching mainly just some showers. Yeah, just showers moving through Waukesha area, Wauwatosa. Couple little isolated cells down towards Janesville. Nothing severe there. And a few rumbles of thunder around Madison. Here's our bigger stuff. And these look like, you have two little individual Boeing line segments here that are moving into central Wisconsin. These have the looks of some higher wind potential. They're not like bowing out like crazy. They just have that look of stronger wind, and will continue to also. I'll look at the velocity data here in a second. But as we look at the bigger picture again, you can see how this line of storms really lines up all the way back towards Iowa. Must have got a little rotation, or I'd have to look this up, but maybe a little rotation or a report of a funnel or something with that cell down in northern Illinois. So there's the current scenario. And let's look at the latest computer model run. And this will I think the HER does a really good job. I just heard a little ding from my computer with the weather service. So let me check to make sure that isn't anything that's too... Okay, no, it's just for the severe warning, an update on that in southwestern Wisconsin. So you see this initializes pretty good. The scattered showers currently overhead, and then the heavier stuff west. So this eventually brings, maybe it's a little delayed too. This brings the heavier stuff into our western counties by 8:30, 9 o'clock. I could speed this up. For our purposes, I'll do that. I think I'm going to speed this up. The model's just kind of lagging behind a little bit. I think it's doing a good job, but it's lagging behind. So let me speed the model up. I get to have the power to change some things. Maybe that's a little better picture of what's currently happening. So hit OK. We sped it up a little bit, and that would bring our storms. Maybe some pretty strong stuff already in Milwaukee by 8 o'clock. Then moving through Racine, Kenosha by 9, 10. Then by 10:30, we're pretty much done. So western spots between 7, 8 with the severe stuff. Milwaukee-ish 8, 9, wrapping up around 10, 10:30 if this model holds. Another thing with this, obviously we're looking at severe potential. I do think, however, though, the biggest severe risk with this, or biggest risk overall, is flooding. I mean, we got hammered, absolutely hammered in spots with rain last night. And if we get heavy rain to go over some of these spots that picked up, 4 or 5 inches of rain last night, we're going to get some flash flooding again. Area rivers, too, are getting super swollen with this. So here's the current severe weather. Well, actually, this is rainfall last night. Anywhere you start to get into the orange and above, that's over 3 inches of rain. There's even like this dark red and blue indicating like over 5 inches of rain. Last night, northern Milwaukee County, Waukesha County, and Jefferson County, and then southern Dodge into southern Washington and Ozaki. So with that in mind, flood watch remains in effect tonight until 7 a.m. We start getting these heavy storms. Don't go driving around. It's just not a good idea, but also with the flooding, I just don't drive around. Not a good, smart idea with this. So as we continue to look through this, I want to talk about a couple of area flood warning rivers. Now, right now, it's minor flooding for most, minor flooding concerns for most of these rivers. Obviously, in northeastern Wisconsin, you've heard about the Wolf River, maybe. They got evacuation orders up that way. Pretty crazy stuff. So minor flood concerns for the Fox River in Kenosha County, Milwaukee River in Ozaki County, drove by the Uleo Creek that feeds into the Milwaukee River in Cedar Creek. It's super high. But our big river right now that we're watching is the Rock River tonight. If you happen to be watching right now and you're in the Watertown area and you could snap a picture of the Rock River, that'd be great. Safely, or a video. Love to see how high it is. Apparently it goes major flood stage tonight with a crest at 6.5 feet. So let's really keep an eye on that. In general, if you have any photos, if you have any videos or storm reports, easiest way to send us a photo is going to tmj4.com/share or that QR code. Or if you want to submit a storm report to us, send us an email, weatherteam@tmj4.com. By the way, again, if you're just joining on Facebook, awesome. Whether it's my TMJ4 page or the TMJ4 page, or if you're on the TMJ4 page, find me on Facebook, Brian Niznansky. Hit me with a follow there. And then we're also simultaneously streaming this on YouTube. If you are on YouTube, find my page, Brian Niz on YouTube. Quickly, before I get ready for the 6 o'clock news, let's go through a couple questions and comments. We've had a lot of people on this. Is North Prairie going to get a tornado warning? Brittany wants to know. Unlikely. That's unlikely for everywhere. I think we're looking at more straight line wind threats tonight. Amy notices it gets serious when my jacket's off. Well, on Facebook and YouTube, I'm always a little more casual, but on TV, if my jacket's off, it's going down. Nick talking about that tornado warning with the cell phones going off in the middle of the night. Yep, saw that, Nicholas, with the tornado warning southwest of Rockford. I hear the word Super El Nino being thrown around. Does that translate to more severe weather? No, actually, if we get El Nino to get going in the summertime, it's hot and dry, typically, for an El Nino summer. When will it hit Muskego? I would say around 7, maybe 8 o'clock. So what time can we expect the storms? Racine near the lake? Probably closer to 10. No confirmed tornado yet in Summers, Riley, but I would be surprised if they get to that. I know surveyors are out. There was one confirmed in East Troy, one in Beaver Dam, and one in Lisbon, Sussex. That one was an EF2. So, all right, I wish I could hang here all night, but I got to get out in the studio, and we'll see you there. TMJ4 News at 6 o'clock, and, of course, we're also